Welcome to Subramani. Few people had written in saying that we are NRIs and we wish to invest in India and we have problems. I am not an expert on taxation or on NRI investments, but I can see some trends. One, the growth that is happening in India, the equity market growing at a good pace, good clip over the last few years and creating wealth. Last year was phenomenal, 30% kind of a jump in many of the funds. Has meant that many NRIs now want to invest in India and they don't want to be satisfied putting small amounts of money, they want to put bigger amounts of money. Of course, there are a lot of problems if you are an NRI from US, not because of India but because of US restrictions, right? So I think in the US you have to disclose your assets in India the minute it crosses 100,000 US dollars, which is today not much. It's about 80 lakhs. And anybody who left India 10 years, 15 years back, even if he had just kept a few, kept maybe 1 million in in a mutual fund, it has now become close to 80 lakhs. So the question is, what should they do? Of course, that they have to deal with the IRS there, but look at the restrictions that are there in India. There are restrictions on NRIs, especially from the US, investing in India. So there are many mutual funds who don't want to go through the FATCA regulation, so they don't even accept money from non-resident Indians. Not all of them can say that, especially if you're a US based company. It's very unlikely that you will say that, but you will have to go through the compliance. Therefore, you will have to first of all check, if you want to invest in the mutual funds, you have to first of all check whether that fund house even accepts money from you. Obviously, NRIs being NRIs, they have found a way out that they send the money to their parents for expenses or whatever and get to invest in their parents' name. This is not a very great thing to do, especially if you have siblings. Then you have to make a will, you have to make sure that this money stays in, comes to you whenever your parents are no longer around, right? So it requires a little more effort, unless you're willing to say it's okay, it doesn't matter if a little money goes to my brother or sister or something, then again the amount of money that you invest may not be very big. The kids who are single can take this route, but again there is a limit to how much you want to invest, and whether you want to make a gift deed in transferring money, etc., or it is just that, oh, I give my mother $10,000 a month for household expenses, out of which she is saving. That can be another way of investing money. Even, I mean, $2,000, $3,000, whatever it be, because their expenses may not be much, and therefore they are investing. That's again one route to take, which most people take at the initial stage. But then there is this problem that after some time it will become as to how much is their income, how much is their income, how much are they investing, etc. When it is disproportionate, you might get income tax notices, etc. So that's not a way I suggest, but yes, I've seen people accumulate a lot of money by that means in the name of their parents, right? So that's one option which is available. What are the other problems which they face? First is the documentation. Second is there are restrictions on investments as to how much you can invest, right? Because again, timeliness, whether you have to be in India while doing a transaction, that's not going to be very easy. Of course, you can start an SIP when you're here, you can start an SIP, but again there are some firms which will not allow you to invest online from the US. You have to be in India while you're investing. That's again an inconvenience. Unless you have given somebody a power of attorney to invest here, again they will ask for dates of travel, etc. So it's not going to be very easy if you want to time the market, buy equities, and investing in an SIP in a mutual fund is okay, but you will never be able to buy and sell equities, right? You will not be able to do that unless you put money in a PMS, and that PMS is willing to go through the FATCA regulations for you, right? So basically the people who don't want to go through the FATCA will not even do it. Then there is taxation. In India there will be taxation. Every dividend that you get will have TDS. When you sell a mutual fund or redeem a mutual fund, there will be TDS. right? So you will have to then file a return to claim the difference. Now if I redeem a mutual fund as a resident Indian, there is no TDS. I have to calculate the capital gains tax and then pay it with my IT when I file my IT return. But if you are a NRI, when you redeem, there will be TDS. So you will have to, first of all, the minute you become an NRI, you have to open your NRE account and NRE account and NRO account. The money in your NRO account can be invested without repatriation rights. The money which you bring in from abroad, which goes into your NRE account, can be filled in with, can be invested with your can be invested with repatriation rights. Mostly NRIs are unlikely to have a Aadhaar card, so the Aadhaar card verification is not going to happen. So if you are a non-resident Indian, when you come to India, you will have to do your KYC. Even if you have done your KYC as a resident Indian, you will have to do a fresh KYC showing your residence abroad. When you will remember that you have to bring your proof of residence, some proof of residence which could be passport and or some proof that you are staying in a particular location, because you will have to give your foreign address. A post box number is no longer sufficient, right? So again, you have to check your double tax, your taxation, and whether your country, the country in which you live, has a double taxation avoidance agreement with India. Almost 100 countries have that. So whether it is US, which definitely has that, you will have to find out whether it is applicable to you. Of course, countries like Dubai, you don't have that as an issue. So a lot of people from the Gulf definitely do invest in India. Again, there is a, when you are abroad and you are investing in that country, the chances are a lot of your assets will be in that country, so you don't want to be very restricted. So India investment gives you a good way to diversify your assets, and so you are now holding not only shares in the country in which you are living, maybe it's the US, but you are also holding shares in India. And so there is some diversification, which is another attraction for which people do. But you can also invest in fixed deposits. Maybe you can invest in gold. Traditional fixed deposits are allowed. PSU bonds you can invest. You can invest in direct equity. All those options are available for a non-resident, subject to documentation, right? So although there are multiple avenues, many non-residents don't exercise that. The best they do is mutual funds, but you have other options also available. Young NRIs can invest digitally. You can open an NRO, both the accounts from abroad. So you can open, many banks will allow you to open a mutual fund account, which they call, it looks like a savings bank account, but it's a mutual fund account through which you invest. Remember, that is the broker there is the bank, and it is not direct. If you want to invest direct, again the process could be different. With each fund house, you have to check whether they allow you to invest, whether they encourage you to invest at all, and what is the procedure. So some MFDs or IFAs advisors may be able to tell you about that, but chances are a banker will be able to help you better. But chances are a banker will not allow you to invest in the direct scheme. It makes no money for him or her. So find out what you want to do. If you want to invest through direct schemes, when you come to India, visit the fund house office, whichever city you are, very good chance that they will have an office. Sit there, talk to them, find out what you can invest when you are in India. Can you start an SIP? Can you invest lump sum? Every time to invest in a lump sum, do you have to physically be present here? What is the documentation needed? Please check, because each fund house is different. So first of all, find out whether the fund house is accepting. If it is accepting, what is the process? Because fund houses don't have mutual fund offices abroad. They will have to come through a bank. If you don't want to invest through a bank because bank services are not good, you're not happy, or whatever be the reason, carry your checkbook, carry your KYC, get your KYC done if you have not already done. It doesn't take much time, and make sure that you invest. It is also possible that a non-resident and a resident cannot be holders together. So if it's your parents who are here, let's say you're married and you're in you are abroad, you can still make your parent the nominee. So make sure that all of that is done, do it properly, complete the documentation, then make the investment. Don't be in a hurry to invest and then wonder how do I get it out, what are the tax implications, etc. Thank you.